people you don't like, or a person who's really done you wrong. You're one with everything. And that's the restoration of true knowledge. And it's the restoration of oneness. So, really quite lovely. Very lovely. All right, let me see what else we've had cooking here. All right, so today, when you have company, you kind of lose sight of what day am I on? What's my name? But having company is a delightful experience. All right, so today being the 21st of March, that's interesting. Yesterday was International Astrology Day. Very interesting. The sun went into Aries yesterday. So depending on time of birth, well, in the ancient system, even if you're born today, tomorrow, right on up for several days, you're still a Pisces. You're not an Aries. You're still a Pisces, although the sun now, it's very confusing. If you want information on that, call in to find out who you are and what necessarily your sign would be. Or, better than that, have a consultation. I'm so enthused. Tomorrow I'm actually going down a few miles south of where I live for a feng shui consultation. I love feng shui, number one, and it's so interesting to make some inroads in a new area where people don't know me from Jabib. For all they know, I have 3 heads and I'm the next highway robber. They don't know. So I'm always delighted. So I'm very much looking forward to that. All right, and next week, next Tuesday, is that going to be then? No. I'm way ahead of myself now. I've jumped ahead. So before I do speak to you next, we will have a new moon, and that new moon will be in Aries. That's cool. And other than that, it's this Venus energy that's quite predominant. And Venus is the planet of love and harmony, peace. And it's like, who do you have to make peace with? And really, that darn Aries, they speak too much, too fast, and sometimes gibberish. So it's slow down your speech and learn a different speech pattern. Just because it's the way you're understood on this planet. It's what you got to do. And there was another thing that did grab my attention as I was kind of poking out things last night. Yeah, Chiron interests the heck out of me. This is again, it's in Western astrology, and it's Chiron in Pisces. Now, I've spoken of this before, but I know I get new and different listeners. So what's happened is Chiron represents something called the wounded healer. And Chiron in Pisces, so those of you who are Pisces, or the opposite sign, Virgo, or the 2 squaring sides, Sagittarius and Gemini, what's happening with this Chiron, it's actually sprinkling healing fairy dust from April 2010 until April 2018. So this is a big window of opportunity. So, look back. What was happening to you in April 2010? That's a very prominent year in my mind. That was about a month before my most beloved sister had her first stroke. And so it will, how did I deal with all of that? Did I recognize that was going to happen? In April, I had no idea that in May, she was really getting ready for her exit song. So some people, as this thing now is beginning, it's kind of closure time. It's a different kind of ride. It's one where you have to interpret things slightly differently in your life, things that you've taken for granted. And what have you taken for granted? As far as I can observe, most people take everything for granted. So look at all of your sense of dualities and the two-sidedness. Where is this two-sidedness getting to you? And basically, it manifests very easily in feet in two boat syndrome. I want to do that, but I want to do this. I'll tell you yes, but I mean no. So that's a very dualistic, split personality, as my dear teacher Osho would say, schizophrenic. He just calls it like it is, very schizophrenic. And of course, his humor is so sarcastic that I find it rather funny. Some of you are like, don't call me schizophrenic. That did actually happen in a class that I was teaching many years ago. And I got to the sign of Gemini. I was going through all of the signs, just a happy little thing for each sign. And I got to Gemini, and I very happily said, oh, dear Gemini, you know, it's a dualistic sign. It's an air sign. And, you know, some people think, you know, that they're dualistic in their thinking. And unfortunately for dear Gemini, sometimes they've been called schizophrenic. Oh, what happened next was not pretty. A dear, kind of disheveled gal sitting in the back of the room lifts up her hand like an arrow, looks at me with just such hurt, and says, I'm not schizophrenic. Like, oh, yeah, I know. I actually stopped the class and gave her a hug. Because she had taken the words out of context. And that's so any of our, would you poke some fun at yourself, please? We all have a sense of, I tell you yes when I mean no. I haven't met too many people that stand clear in one thing or another. And basically it's because they don't know what they want. So take these next several months, we've got a year and 1 month to really surrender and look at this wounded healer energy. What are the wounds? What are you carrying? So I was really struck again by the scars. You know, I'm reading a little bit along here. It reflects our experience of running headlong into a brick wall of reality, along with the resulting wounds and scars we carry with us from that. So healing is just a reconciliation of the pain and the struggle, and eventually, ultimately, working it through and letting it all be, because it was all perfect. And our sense of pain and alienation and woundedness, at some point, you got to just go, it is what it is. And it goes kind of back to right here, right now, it's fine. But people do carry the wound. I don't think I shared this last time I was on the radio because I don't think it had happened yet. But one of the multiple healers that I've been to this month to just get energy straightened out a little bit better, he looked at me and said, do you have any scars? Well, I had a little scar when I was 2.5 and another when I was 2. I said, that's about it. He goes, oh, well, they haven't healed yet. So there's still an energy blockage because of them. So it's interesting. The scars on our body often reflect what has not yet healed. So there's just, it's wise healing. Cheer, that's what the energy of this cheer on does. Wise healing and retreating into yourself to heal it. You really don't need anyone outside yourself. You need you. So the cheer on energy, very strong, very good to concentrate on while we're just moving now into these first days of springtime. Okay, I'm going to hit you a little bit here with, because it's one of my favorite days, a galactic portal day. I love those days. Now we're talking, I've switched calendars, moved us away from Western astrology. And today, Tuesday, March 21st, it is Red Lunar Earth Day. And it's open, it's the energy, the command of the morning for me was, I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. You know, we seek these portals, but the humor is they're not outside of us. I am the portal. I just have to enter me. And always, when I see this symbol, I buddy up to my cosmic galactic being, Sirius B52. Love this being. I can't wait to actually experience this being more fully in my life, but it's just an energy that's a galactic energy. A couple of you have inquired, what the heck are you talking about when you're talking this galactic stuff? And it is a galactic calendar. If you are interested, email me and I will simply email you the information how to purchase the calendar. Very, very interesting for those of you who are into that little sense of expansion. So email me, purpleportal777@gmail.com. If that interests you, if it resonates. Some of you are like, Elaine, I can't even keep up with numerology, let alone the galactic signatures and things like that. But nonetheless, it's a wonderful journey. It's a beautiful journey. So, with today being a Red Earth Day, and here's why I find it happy and comfortable. I want to know, like, how should I be behaving today? Like, where's the focus of attention? As a synchronized whole system, Earth is a conscious, sentient being. It is an integral member of the larger galactic community. Now, that just reminded me of the book that I've pulled off my shelf that a dear, beautiful, blessed woman gave me early in the 1990s. I loved it then. I understand it and love it more this time around. The name of the book is, if you can still get it, I would hope it's still in print, To Dance with Angels. To Dance with Angels, brought forth by Don and Linda Pendleton. And I believe it's Pennndleton. I'm close enough. Pendleton. I might have reversed the E and the L, but you'd find it if it's for you. And the reason that I'm finding it interesting, it takes everything I'm working on within the framework of non-duality and even expands it. And what the Pendletons have done, and incidentally, the Pendletons were extraordinarily disbelieving and skeptical, of anyone bringing forth channeled information until they met Tom Jacobson, who is the channel that brings forth Dr. Peebles. And Dr. Peebles gives astounding information from other dimensions. I have a very dear girlfriend down in Boca who is particularly, her physical body has really taken a hit in the past year. And I know that she might have at this point 1 foot in the boat on Earth and 1 foot out of the boat. And I did suggest, because I knew she had that book, I'd suggested pull it off the shelf so that you understand you're not going to die. You will expand, though. Your consciousness will expand. Your sense of presence will expand. And it is a deliciously delightful take on larger than what you're understanding now. And that the physical body is really the base note of the matrix that you are. It's the densest part of who you are. And some of you who can remember your dreams, that's taking you a bit up and into the more refined areas of your own matrix. And sometimes it takes you outside your matrix to experience larger and larger sense of presence, which you are. You're all of that. So humanity, as a unique part of this living system, belongs to Earth. Although it is interesting, Dr. Peebles really kind of tells that the people reading that book are pretty much not from Earth, which always gives me hope, because when I sort of kid around and sometimes to family members, announce little things like, oh, I am just so not from this plane of reality, and the eyeballs roll and things like that. When I sort of get some confirmation, no, you're really not from here. It's okay. No wonder you don't understand much of what's going on. I feel better. It validates